Ever grab a late-night bite and feel a sudden chill run down your spine? You might just write it off as the air conditioning, but what if it's something more? Is it not? We're reheading to a McDonald's that's serving up more than just burgers and fries. This is a story about a manager who loved his job so much he never clocked out. Our story takes place in a small town at a McDonald's that had just undergone a massive renovation. The old, dated building was torn down, and in its place rose a sleek, modern structure with self-order, kiosks, and bright, sterile lighting. Everyone loved the new look, but the staff soon realized that something from the old building had decided to stick around. It started with small things. A new hire named Sarah was often tasked with closing duties. Late at night, when the restaurant was empty and quiet, except for the hum of the freezers, she would hear faint footsteps coming from the back near the manager's office. She'd call out, thinking it was her shift supervisor, but would get no reply. The footsteps would just stop. Then there were the whispers. Several employees reported hearing a man's voice, a low mumble, as if someone was reading a list aloud. It always seemed to come from the same area, the small hallway leading to the office. The restaurant's current manager, a practical woman named Linda, dismissed the stories as late-night jitters. That is, until she experienced it herself. One evening, she was in the office finalizing the weekly schedule. The door was closed, but she heard a distinct shuffling sound right outside. It sounded like someone was pacing back and forth. Annoyed, she opened the door, ready to tell off whichever teenager was goofing around. But the hallway was empty. A cold spot hung in the air, making the hairs on her arms stand up. She quickly locked the office and finished her work from a table in the main dining area. As the strange occurrences escalated, a young cook named Alex was working a grill one night when he saw a reflection in the stainless steel prep counter. It was a man standing behind her. He was older, with thinning hair and wearing an old-style McDonald's manager uniform, the kind they had NT used in over a decade. The man was looking down at a clipboard. Alex spun around, his heart pounding in his chest, but there was no one there. The fry station was empty. The back door was locked. Kay was completely alone. The staff started comparing notes, their hushed conversations filling the break room. They learned that the ghost seemed to have a routine. He was most active late at night, always near the manager's office. He seemed fixated on work-related tasks, pacing, mumbling over what sounded like orders, and, most disturbingly, reviewing the schedule. One of the veteran employees, a woman who had worked there for 20 years, finally put the pieces together. She remembered a manager from before the renovation, a man named Mr. Henderson. He was a stickler for details, utterly devoted to the restaurant. He was known for triple-checking the schedule and would often stay late, pacing outside his office while going over the numbers. Tragically, he had suffered a massive heart attack one night when working late, right in that very office. He died before the paramedics could arrive. The new building had been built on the exact same spot, with the new manager's office located right where the old one used to be. The staff realized they weren't just being haunted. They were being supervised. Mr. Henderson was still on the clock. The most chilling encounter came a few weeks later. Sarah was again on closing duty. She was wiping down the last table. She glanced toward the front counter. Standing behind it, bathed in the dim security lights, was the figure of a man. He was staring at the new digital schedule board on the wall. His form, slightly transparent, slowly raised a hand as if to point out a mistake. Sarah froze, unable to scream. The figure then turned his head and looked directly at her. His face was pale and sad, his eyes empty. He held her gaze for what felt like an eternity before slowly fading away, dissolving into the sterile, modern air of the new McDonald's. Sarah quit the next day. The restaurant is still open, still serving customers day and night. But the staff knows that when the last customer leaves and the doors are locked, they are not alone. Manager Henderson is still there, eternally on duty, making sure everything runs perfectly. So next time you're in a McDonald's late at night, listen closely. You might just hear the phantom footsteps of the manager who never left. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more spooky stories. Stay safe.
Working the night shift at McDonald's isn't exactly glamorous. Mostly, it's just me, the hum of the fryers, and the occasional late-night trucker looking for a coffee to keep them awake. But for the past 3 weeks, it's been different. It all started with him. He shows up every single night, exactly at 2:17 a.m., not a minute earlier, not a minute later. He drives a beat-up, dark blue sedan that's seen better days, and he always parks in the same spot, the one furthest from the entrance, right under the flickering lamppost. He walks in, and the little bell above the door chimes, but he never seems to notice. The first time he came in, I gave him my standard, overly cheerful greeting. "Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you tonight?" He just stared. Not at me exactly, but sort of threw me at the menu board behind my head. He's an older guy, maybe in his late 60s, with deep lines etched around his eyes, and a sadness that seems to hang on him like a heavy coat. He never says a word, not one. That first night, after a few moments of awkward silence, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a neatly folded piece of paper. He slid it across the counter. I unfolded it. On it, written in shaky but elegant handwriting, were just 2 words: black coffee. I rang him up, and he paid with exact change, his hand trembling slightly as he placed the coins on the counter. I handed him his coffee, and he took it without making eye contact. Then he walked over to the corner booth, the one with the torn vinyl seat, and just sat there. He didn't drink the coffee. He just stared into the cup, his shoulders slumped. He stayed until we started our closing routine at 3 a.m. When I went to tell him we were closing, he was already gone, but he'd left another note on the table. This one said, "Thank you." This became our nightly ritual. 2:17 a.m., the bell chimes, he walks in. He slides over the same note, black coffee. He pays, with the same exact change. He sits in the same booth, staring at the coffee he never drinks. And when he leaves a note. The notes started to change after the first week. They were still short, but they felt heavier. One night, it was "I miss her smile." The next, "The silence is the worst part." Another time, just a single, heartbreaking word, "alone." Each note was a tiny, painful glimpse into a story I couldn't understand. I started keeping them in my locker, a strange collection of someone else's sorrow. My coworkers noticed, of course. Sarah, who works the grill, thinks he's just a lonely old man. Kevin, who cleans up, is convinced he's some kind of ghost. I don't know what to think, but the creepiest part isn't the notes, it's what happens after he leaves. After I lock the doors at 3, I always see his car. It's still there, parked under that flickering light. And he's inside, just sitting in the driver's seat, watching the building. He doesn't leave until my manager and I walk out together at 4 a.m. after we've finished all the closing tasks. As soon as our car pulls out of the lot, his headlights flash on and he slowly drives away. Every single night. Last night, something was different. He came in at 2:17, same as always. He slid the note across the counter, black coffee. I got it for him. He paid. He went to his booth. But this time, when I went to clear his table after he left, the note wasn't a sad phrase. It was a question, written in that same shaky hand. It said, "Was she happy here?" My blood ran cold. Was who happy here? Did she work here? Did I know her? I looked out into the parking lot. His car was there, a dark silhouette in the dim light, and I could feel his eyes on the building, waiting. I don't know who she is, or why he keeps coming back to this specific McDonald's, but I have a feeling he thinks I have the answers. And honestly, the thought of what I'll find on his note tomorrow night is starting to terrify me. I just hope I'm ready for it. Thanks for watching, and if you have any theories, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the night shift.
This happened inside a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. Bright lights, stainless steel counters, the smell of fries in the air. A place people visit every day without thinking twice. Employees clocked in, orders rolled in. The ice cream machine hummed. Everything felt normal. The manager on duty was trusted. He handled schedules, closed the store, locked the doors at night. He knew every corner of the restaurant, including places no customer ever sees. One night, after closing, only 2 people were inside the McDonald's, the manager, and a young employee finishing their shift. There were no alarms. No shouting heard by anyone outside. No signs of a struggle in the dining area. When the night ended, only one person walked out. The next day, the employee never showed up again. Co-workers assumed they quit. That happens at McDonald's all the time. People disappear from the schedule without warning. The manager told everyone not to worry. Days passed. Customers lined up at the counter. Burgers were wrapped, fries were scooped. Parents ordered Happy Meals for their kids. Life went on inside that McDonald's, but workers started noticing something strange. The walk-in freezer. It was always cold, but now it felt wrong. The smell wasn't spoiled food. It wasn't chemicals. It was something people couldn't explain. Some employees rushed in and out. Others refused to enter alone. No one imagined the truth. Inside the McDonald's freezer, the missing employee was hidden. Their body was placed among boxes of frozen food, sealed in ice-cold air meant to preserve inventory, not hide murder. The freezing temperature slowed everything, the smell, the warning signs, the discovery. The manager worked multiple shifts knowing exactly where the body was. The McDonald's stayed open for days. What finally exposed everything wasn't a confession. It was routine. A supply check, a box moved. A moment that wasn't supposed to matter. And suddenly, the truth was standing there in the freezer. Police shut the McDonald's down immediately. Employees were evacuated in shock. Many realized they had worked entire shifts just steps away from their missing coworker. Investigators confirmed the unthinkable. A McDonald's manager had murdered an employee and hid the body inside the restaurant freezer, believing the cold and chaos of a fast food environment would protect him. He was wrong. The arrest stunned the town. Customers couldn't believe it. Coworkers replayed memories in their minds.